I've been using Pencil a lot recently because it's actually very powerful. Pencil gives you a team of AI agents specialized in UI design. I want to explain to you why working with multiple agents is a great idea. I'll show you exactly how to get the best quality output while avoiding generic AI slop. I'm going to give you the exact prompts that you can use to make sure that the AI agents do their jobs properly. And finally, I'm going to show you a trick to create a prototype the easiest way possible with a full handoff package. By the way, Pencil is free to use, and they're not a sponsor. I just had to mention this. If you're new around here, my name is Jad. I've been a UIUX designer for over a decade, and I use AI tools in whole new ways to build better products. First of all, let me explain to you why working with AI agents is a good idea, how they work, and what it means to you. As I said, Pencil is free. It works by using AI tokens from your own account. So if you're already paying for one of the main AI tools like Claude, Gemini, or ChatGPT, you don't have to pay anything extra. Pencil is a full UI design platform, just like Figma. You have manual editing, components, auto layout, it's all there. But unlike Figma, Pencil was built from the ground up for AI agents. It has the ability to deploy up to 6 agents at once, and these agents will work on different tasks at the same time. But the crucial thing is that Pencil has a top-level coordination layer that acts as an automated project manager. It handles all your project data, it assigns tasks to the agents, and keeps them synchronized. That means the agents will communicate in real time to ensure consistency, but they won't have to deal with the full project context. They focus on the tasks that the project manager assigns to them. And that's exactly why AI hasn't been reliable in the past. When you have one AI assistant trying to remember everything about the project and perform all the actions at the same time, that leads to inconsistencies and hallucinations. And that's why working with AI agents is a good idea. And Pencil solved that with a layered system. So the working agent is not overwhelmed with the full project context. Plus, it's faster because you have multiple agents working at the same time on different parts of the UI. Here's the Pencil interface that you start with. First, you have to set your repository here at the top and select a local folder on your computer. That's where your project will be saved. Then connect your AI accounts. You have the option to use Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini. I have them all connected here. Then at the bottom left here, you can select how many agents you want to work with. You can change this for each prompt, but I always leave it at 6 because it will use as many as necessary based on your prompt. So it doesn't always use 6 unless it's a bigger request. Now, working with more agents will cost slightly more tokens because it's using extra compute for reasoning to pass the tasks to other agents. But it gets more accurate. So I'm willing to do that trade-off. And I've never hit the limits with ChatGPT, for example. It's not spending that much more. So if it needs to deploy 6 agents, each one will have a smaller task to work with. That means smaller context load, and it's not going to get confused and hallucinate. So keep them focused. I'm going to give it a simple prompt to design a travel app. I specified the pages that I need, and since I'm requesting 7 pages here, it's going to deploy all the agents. And you can see here we have 6 agents working at the moment. And you can go into each one of them to see what it's doing. And you can even see the task that has been assigned to it. And you can watch them in real time on the canvas as they build the UI. And there we go, we have the 6 pages that we requested. Now, you'll notice that it's not doing the best job with the component usage and consistency, because it still needs some guidance from you. I'm going to give you a few prompts that will ensure your design follows good UX and UI standards. So for example, here in this design, the tab bar is not consistent across all the screens. So this is the prompt that I'm giving it. Make sure the design is consistent across all pages, use components where applicable, and I added the example of the tab bar. And I said create the components in a separate page and use instances in the UI design. So I want the components to be on the side on their own, and I want the UI design to be using instances of those components. I'm going to include all the prompts in the description to make sure that you're building the UI properly and accurately for a good handoff. So there we go. It deployed 6 agents for this task. And there we go. Now we have a separate page with the components. And you can see here it's using instances of the main component in the UI pages. And that's perfect. It followed my request very accurately. So you see how you have to stay on top of it and tell it what to do. It doesn't build a good design structure if you don't explicitly request that. Maybe in the future, but it's not that advanced yet. So you still have to have that UI UX knowledge to be able to build a good product. Another prompt you can use is tell it to act like a handoff specialist to make sure that it includes all the necessary assets for a good handoff, including documentation. Now here's another example I worked on. For this example, I gave it a direction of the styling. I wanted a neumorphic style UI. So I started with a style guide and then I built the UI. I said I wanted a neumorphic style guide for a travel app. And then I created the splash screen and the other screens. So if you specify the styling, it will not generate a generic AI design. It will look really good. So that's a rule to follow with any AI that you use. Always specify what you want. Otherwise, it will give you the average design that is based on everything that's out there. I also asked it to create a handoff audit here, so it went through the whole design to make sure that everything is ready for handoff. Now I have a few other prompts that you can use in your project that will help you create a proper design from start to finish. Like you need to follow proper UX and have a proper user journey, and for auditing the design and making sure that everything is perfect. Now your document includes your UI and handoff documentation and the design system. All that's missing is an interactive prototype. And I'm going to show you how to build the prototype based on your design. Now you can always take a screenshot and ask any AI coding tool to build a prototype for you. But here's a more accurate way to do that. Go to the folder where your project is saved and you'll find a .pen file type. This .pen file is basically a JSON file under the hood. So you can literally just change the extension to .json and you will have a JSON file that includes all of the information of your project. I'm going to duplicate it here and I'll change this to .json. And now you can see all of the information as a JSON file. And you can use this anywhere you want with any AI tool. It will be able to read your exact design. So if you're using Claude, go to Claude Code and give it this JSON file. If you're using Gemini, go to Google AI Studio and give it this file. If you're using ChatGPT, go to Codex and give it this file. And watch it build your prototype exactly as it is in your Pencil project. Here's the prototype I created inside of Codex with ChatGPT, and you can open it in your browser, and it's interactive. It includes all of the design and functionality of your design. I did the same with Google AI Studio. All I did was paste in because I couldn't attach the JSON file, I just copy and pasted all of the contents of the JSON file, and I gave it to Google AI Studio, and I said, build the prototype of the homepage. And it did exactly that. And it's functional and interactive. Let me know what you think of working with AI agents. Do you find it beneficial in your own workflow? And how are you using AI? I really want to know. And if you have any questions, of course, drop it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter to get all the prompts and guides and workflows that I come up with on this channel for free. See ya.